Hi there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. So, I wanted to pose something I heard recently that I thought was so profound from a spiritualist. I was listening to her, and she recounted a conversation she had with her cousin, and it was just so impactful that it got me thinking that I would rather somebody punch me in the face than to lie to me because, and here's where the rest of this comes in for Kate. The download for me was that the person said in their video that I'd rather you punch me in the face than to lie to me because I can heal from the punch. The bruises on my face will heal. But that lie to me, that one's going to take a lot longer. And I thought about it and I realized that I would rather somebody punch me in the face also than to lie to me because somebody that's punching me in the face is at least being honest. They're wrong. However, they're being honest in who they are and what they're willing to do to take the rules of engagement out of anything that's even remotely acceptable to me personally or to anybody, as far as I'm concerned, that need me allowed happen anywhere on the planet. It's a crossing over many boundaries. However, that's why we have a problem. But I realized that the reason that I would rather have someone be just right up, straight up in my face, aggressive, honest, and say, I hate you and punch me in the face is because that is the reality of how they feel. They're putting it out there. Whereas when someone lies to us, we oftentimes don't know, especially if they're profound liars and they're good at gaslighting and bullshitting. Wow. Somebody that's doing both, they can keep us there for a minute. However, oftentimes I've found that the most prolific liars from my life and that I've observed in many others and that have, powerful positions for a minute until they don't. They're often very profound liars that would never lay a hand on you because it takes a coward to actually lie instead of get right up in your face with the truth. And some people use their fists to do the I hate you thing, which is their truth. The truth, however, is that we do not need to lay hands on anyone ever, rightfully, unless it's to defend ourselves exclusively. And I mean, full on assault, full frontal. But someone that's lying is not in any integrity whatsoever. And that one takes a lot longer because, like that woman said, that the bruise on my cheek would heal. However, the way I feel, that's going to take a lot longer for me to heal. If you've lied to me about something, if I can't trust you, if I can't believe you, at least someone that is coming with a full on assault, they're letting me know right straight up from the jump what they're about. That sneaky stuff that's subversive and in the sublime somewhere sliming around, that's really hard because oftentimes we build a rapport with people that we're in relationships with. We have some sort of a rapport. We have some sort of a known quantity about them. And then when we find that they've lied to us, it destroys our faith in what we thought we believed in. Or if we chronically have a problem, excuse me, with someone misrepresenting the truth, it turns into gaslighting and manipulation and codependency, narcissistic tendencies, all kinds of toxic situations where we can have a really hard time working to get our way out of that system. Whereas in domestic violence or any kind of, full on physical violence or any other kind of violence involving the body, that's just wrong. And we know that and we can identify that, even if we're subject to it and we continue to be in it, we do know most people understand that that is not okay. It's very difficult to get out of it either way. But we can identify that physical assault upon another person is wrong and we can understand that. However, when we've been lied to, that is a spiritual assault, an emotional assault. It's an assault upon what we thought we understood and what we knew. And that can be really damaging. It can take us a long time to really understand that because it is in the sublime. It's in that place where I'm not sure what to do with this because now I don't know if I can trust you. Excuse me. And even if I learn that I can't trust you, then I might be willing to become very suspicious and quite paranoid about who I can trust and then start trusting no one. And so these issues where people are, full up about what they are and they're highly aggressive and they at least state it right off the front. I don't want to deal with them. I absolutely don't want to deal with them. However, I have more respect for somebody that's in my face telling me the real deal about themselves than somebody who will slick around in the ether somewhere or in the background or, subversively go and talk some smack behind my back, and be creating all kinds of dynamics of control and manipulation of other people's opinion of me or whatever the situation is. Basically, lying is just a form of thieving, and I don't. I abhor thieves really, because it's a vacuous soul that really feels like they need to lie, cheat, steal, or dishonor their own selves enough that they will dishonor another person by not being clean about who and what they are. And the truth about people that are willing to get aggressive and physical is they're already a liar. They're already a liar. They're a known quantity of, yeah, you're just all kinds of wrong if you're assaulting me on any level, especially physically. But the subversive liar, or the person that just lies to us, to our face, or behind our back, or about us, or thieves, or does whatever to us, victimizing us in some way, they are trying to thieve away our trust and our ability to discern, because they earn some place in their own mind of, I've got the upper hand, I'm in charge, I know more, I'm superior. Whatever it is, their power differential that they're creating by doing that, or they're saving their own soul. They think by, okay, I don't want to get into a confrontation with this person, I don't want to have, a row, so I'll just tell them a lie. Whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter. But I'd much rather deal, as I said, with the person that's out here just being all kinds of wrong and obviously wrong. That's so much easier to deal with than when it's someone who's lying on whatever level they're lying. It's all lying, and even white lies. Well, I don't want to, lie to that person or tell them the truth. I'd rather lie to that person and not tell them the truth of what I really think of them. I found that that's not any more helpful, that even if I'm doing it for the right reason, I think to just not really say, well, I really don't feel that way about you, or I don't really want to be in a relationship with you, or I don't really like this job, or I really need to do this instead of this. When we spare other people the reality of who we are, that's just as damaging. Now, how they receive it on their end, whether it takes them time to heal from that, or how long it takes, it's an assault of the ego, either way. And that's really all that it is. It's an assault of our person. It's an assault on the wounded part of us that would not understand what the reality and the truth of a situation is. Because when we're speaking clearly and we're speaking very truthfully to someone, this soul knows, whether we like what we're hearing or not. When we hear someone who is standing in their truth, the absolute truth of themselves and the truth of the universe as it's aligned, not that truth of, I'm willing to play by different rules of engagement by assaulting you on any level. That's their truth. However, that is not the truth. There's a huge difference. But when we hear someone who's standing in the truth and their truth, and it's aligned with universal principle and loving frequency, no matter what, it's saying that this is my integrity, this is the truth of me, and this is how I need to play this. We do understand that, and we know that. And that's when those massive changes happen that really tick people off, and it causes a lot of disturbance in the force of the dark side, if you will, the dark star, the north. What is that? The dark star, I think it is, Darth Vader's home. It causes ripples in that, where people really feel the shaking and the cracking of their foundation with it, because it's the vibration of what we're saying. It's not just my truth as I see it. It is the truth expressed in, this is the way I see it. In order for me to be aligned with it, it will absolutely destroy Death Stars. That's what it is. It will absolutely destroy Death Stars everywhere. And it disturbs the psyche a great deal. And it even leaves us with the opportunity that we're going to need to walk away, even though we're standing in that truth and that principle, and we did not physically assault someone. We still have to deal with whatever it takes for our ego and our mind, our soul, everything to heal from the fact that that person is having a Death Star experience. They're having a dark night. They're going through whatever they're going through. And the more right position for me to take is that, and I still need to do what I need to do. And I would far rather to, tell someone the truth and not spare them anything of the truth, because we're not sparing one another when we, lie, either for our own benefit, that, I need this, I want this, I need to manipulate the situation for very dark and dirty reasons, or I want to try to spare this person. We're keeping up a cycle that is no longer acceptable on planet Earth, without being rejected pretty quickly. We're seeing the breakdown, teardown, and destruction of all that terrible paradigm, where we were, so it's not socially acceptable to, XYZ, fill in the blank, of however it is that we shut ourselves off from our own divine frequency. And so the real truth is that, yes, I would much rather deal with someone who's right up in my face with the reality of who they are, especially if they're showing up wrong, then please be all wrong right here out here in the open without physically assaulting me, please, keep it at a huge distance. However, more respect for the person that's willing to be out there, that this is what I am. It's the reality and the truth of me. However, it's nowhere aligned with divinity. That is so much easier to actually see. You can hear my dog. Everybody gets busy when I start these videos. They start scratching at my legs, the cats do, and the dog, oh, I'm going to play with my toy, and really get busy, which is awesome. Excuse me. But when we hear this and we see this with other people and they're just right there with it, I have more respect for that, because it's easier to deal with. It's easier to go, no, stop that, than it is that slick stuff that can really cause us to be standing in circles where we're being wounded, we're being stabbed multiple times over and over and over again, and cut by 1,000 deaths. Let's just get this over with quickly, that, oh, you're an a-hole, cool, thanks, now I got to go. Then someone who's, the petty a-hole from behind the scenes, but we're still eventually going to bleed blood dry. I'd much rather we get right to the jump with it. Introduce yourself immediately and let me know what you're all about, so I can decide 11:11 for myself how I'm going to play this, and listening more to the truth of me, and letting those Death Stars, do whatever you need to do to deal with what I'm saying to you. However, me walking away believing that an assault on a person in an aggressive and hostile and nasty way, that's really not the truth. The truth is, this is my alignment with the divine and my assignment, and this is what I need to do. I'm owning that, and I'm being truthful and honest with you. That is far more powerful than any bit of physical aggression I could take, any bit of lying, any bit of protecting, any bit of rescuing, any of that weird stuff that we do in that old paradigm in the age of Pisces. It's no longer relevant, and it's a dying system that people are not quite picking up fast enough to really get in the game well, to not be hurt some more in these karmic loops and karmic cycles where, well, I'll try it this way. Well, I'll try it this way. If we're still, playing down here in the Hunger Games, 12-12, we're losing our life force vitality a little bit more and more in our body. That our spirit is eternal. It is an infinite source. However, our body is not. And unless we know how to replace that faster than we're losing it by 1,000 cuts, then we still, can really lose the battle, and not understanding well enough that whoever we're dealing with, if we're dealing with physical assault, most definitely that's, an easy enough one to see. And we still have to deal with the lion a-holes that are behind us somewhere, or around us, or in our energy, trying to tap in and change our mind, because you got a Death Star that's on fire over at your house. Wouldn't you be better served? Yes, you would. So let me get honest, whether I'm in a person's face or I'm in their, space with the energy, that we're somewhere astrally, or we're somewhere in the energy with it in a dream or whatever. Get very, very tight about out here in 3D, so that 5D gets even more with divinity, very clear about what I'm going to do here. And it's to act with integrity no matter what I do. However, it's to cut that and be honest with you that, no, when you're coming on some bullshit like that, that's an assault on me on any level. Then it's no different than the assault of my person. And the honesty of me is not going to let that slide anymore. I need to be more accountable to myself of why would I allow myself to be stabbed or wounded with a liar, a thief, a whatever, or someone who's going to physically, financially, sexually, emotionally, spiritually, on any level, try to dominate me, push me, or thief from me, or lie to me. It's all lies. Anything that is out of balance and out of the principle of universal energy is a lie. And so when we stop lying to ourselves, it becomes easier to allow the Death Stars to do whatever they need to do, allow Darth Vader to be upset, allow Darth Vader to continue the smack, the whatever, and disempower it by, yeah, I'm not going to engage that anymore. I can't stop you from doing whatever it is you do. However, I can stop you from having direct contact with me on this, so that it's no longer stabbing, jabbing, and causing me problems and causing me to die from a death by 1,000 cuts, because I don't care to do that. I care to do my life in a different way, in new earth understanding, 5D understanding, which says, I don't need to join you in order to refuse you and stop you from doing this. I need to get very honest about what's going on both sides. And I'd much rather somebody show up honest with me, being who and what they are, then, and preferably all aligned with their divinity on the inside. However, that might be asking a bit much with some, that I'd rather they show up like that, because I'm not doing them a service to allow them to walk away not knowing what the truth and the reality of that is. And so I don't want to play as a liar. Then I can't really accept a liar, and I can't accept a liar unless I'm willing to play as one. And so both sides of that need to be quite clean, that I need to be willing to get out of my comfort zone of perhaps not saying things that I need to say. I need to move out of that comfort spot immediately and not allow people to get comfortable in my energy or anywhere else in my physicality with being a liar anywhere in their energy. So I hope that's been helpful to you in some way. My dog's just going deep into the toy box. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful to you in some way, and I hope that you enjoy your day no matter what part of the day you're in. And remember, get within your skin, because you're divine. It is so honest. It is universal truth. It is universally balanced, and it knows you. It knows you deeply, better than anything else could. Out here in 3D, it absolutely knows you better than anybody or anything could. And so you can align with that immediately. It's absolutely fine and knows how to do that already. So take care of yourselves and enjoy your day. I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, my beautiful friends.